Hello, dear students. I hope you are all doing well. The wait is over. The practice batch is here. It's time to gear up and focus on honing your skills. In this batch, you will get dictations from SSC's previous years, including 2024, 23, 22, and beyond. Each video will feature dictation from one shift. Your responsibility is to practice each of these dictations diligently to achieve excellence. Let us now begin the session. Listen carefully and write with full concentration. All the best. Ready for the shift third matter. Get ready. Start. Pursuant to the aforesaid order, the respondent has filed an additional counter affidavit in which he has emphasized the desirability of remanding the matter back to the disciplinary authority for redetermination of the matter. He has emphasized that failure to supply the inquiry report to the delinquent deprives him of making a proper representation to the disciplinary authority before that authority arrives at its own findings with regard to the guilt or otherwise of an employee. This admittedly not having been done, clearly the respondent was prejudiced in submitting his defense. If even this court concludes not to remand the matter back to the disciplinary authority, at least it has to be remanded back to the High Court. He has stated that a number of points were raised before the High Court which have not been considered on merits, as the High Court decided the writ petition only on the ground of non-furnishing of the inquiry report. Since the inquiry officer and the disciplinary authority had concluded that some of the charges have been partially proved and others completely proved, it was necessary to supply the findings of the inquiry reports. Only on knowing the reasoning of the inquiry officer could be the respondent give an effective explanation. It is further pointed out that with regard to the charges relating to Maharajganj, the entire amount has been recovered. This fact is noticed by the disciplinary authority, but quite illegally it still proceeded to impose punishment on the ground of proved misconduct. Since the disciplinary authority arrived at the decision on the basis of charges which were partially completely proved, it was not possible to defend during personal hearings. According to the respondent, this was stated by him at the personal hearing, but it was ignored. In fact, the disciplinary authority was adamant to punish the respondent. All these issues could have been highlighted if the High Court had decided the writ petition on merits. Therefore, matter needs to be remanded back to the High Court for a decision on merits on all the issues raised by the respondent. In our opinion, the aforesaid grievances of the respondent are without any factual basis. The petitioner has placed on the record of this court the translated copy of the charge sheet, reply of the respondent to the charge sheet. In the instant case, seller was not in a position to discharge his burden and therefore he is not entitled for refund. In view of the said position, all the authorities have held that a question of refund of tax would not arise in the case of the appellant, since no tax had been demanded from the appellant for the tea. Considering the facts and circumstances of the case, tax was collected from the appellant at the time of purchase of tea in the occasion sale conducted by the tea planters. Since tea is a commodity which was liable to tax at the time of first sale in the state, the tax which was collected from the appellant by the dealer has been remitted to the government by the dealer of tea. It further appears that the appellant claimed for refund of the said amount to be paid to it, despite the fact that it is not a dealer in the eye of law. Section 44 of the KGST Act is very clear and it stipulates that it is only the dealer of tea on whom the assessment has been made, and it is only he who can claim for refund of tax, and the court cannot overlook the mandate. In view of the clear and unambiguous position, the appellant cannot claim for refund of tax collected from the seller of tea. When the meaning and the language of a statute is clear and unambiguous, nothing could be added to the language and the words of the statute. The findings recorded by the authorities below are clearly findings of the fact and have also been arrived at on the basis of the mandate of the provisions of the State Act. Therefore, the decision does not call for any interference. There is no possibility of taking a proactive stance, although it is clear that the state cannot retain the tax which is overpaid, but at the same time, such overpaid tax cannot be paid to the SSCs or appellants. The principles laid down in the decision in Mafatlal's case would also not be possible to the facts of the instant case in view of the provisions of Section 44 of the KGST Act, which refers to claim for refund and specifically states that such refund could be made only to a dealer claiming for such refund. Stop. So, how was the dictation? I hope you managed it. Write it well. Don't forget to share your scores in the comments. I do love to know how you did. By the way, The dictation was clear, right? Let me know if you faced any issues. Keep practicing regularly, and I am sure you will do great in your exams. Good luck and keep up the hard work. Thank you so much.